see. Here we go. All right. I believe that we are live, so I'll give a few seconds here for.
At Cox, we're always a step ahead. There you go.
Is that you?
I'll show you. Like, before your base.
Oh, was that me?
I think it was.
I must have some. Okay. I remember telling you to mute.
You didn't mute it.
No, I didn't mute anything. Okay, so
do as I say, not as I do.
Right, exactly. Okay, so that was totally
my daughter all the time.
That was totally my bad on that one. So yeah, let us know if you're out there. If we're feeding, obviously we must be feeding out to the folks out there. If that is going, you know what? Let me. Don't forget to smash the thumbs ups. Ask us questions. We've got Nick Recchio of Coachmen Class B here joining us, so it's going to be fun. Yep. Let's kick it off, Nick. If you're, hold on. Actually, I should have gone into the. There we go. If you're ready, we can kick it off.
Absolutely. Let's go.
All right. Let's do it. Welcome to the VanNoisSeur Podcast. Here we talk about all things Class B vans. Buckle up. This is going to be a blast. All right, there we go. We are live. I big shout out to everyone out there. I see Michael Frawley's out there. He says good morning. Oh, good morning.
Morning, Michael.
Our Larkin Delvey is out there as well, who I saw commenting on a video that I put up recently. Says, hi, guys. Can see and hear you both. So welcome back to the VanNoisSeur Podcast. This is episode 18 with Nick Recchio of Coachmen Class B. He's the general manager over there. Nick, welcome.
Thank you for tuning in, everybody.
You're very welcome on behalf of the folks out there. Do you want to just quickly, before we get into comments, taking questions and stuff like that, do you just want to explain to people, if they don't know, what you do at Coachmen?
Sure.
You guys are a pretty big outfit over there at Forest River.
Well, number one, I'll touch on what you just said. Number one, I'm the GM here, general manager. It's I used to do a heck of a lot a long time ago, and then we went through some hiring and got some great people, and I have the opportunity to do just a little bit less due to the wonderful people I have around me, and encouragement, picking people up and when they're having a tough day, making sure people don't let humanity get in their way. Being a human, some people think it's real easy, but humanity, we got a little dark side to us, and sometimes that grabs us at the beginning of the day and we can't shake it. So being a coach, being somebody that's always positive, and some days being the parent that's got to remind you, hey, we got to stay in line. And and I would say the number one thing is I'm the chief listener for our division, and whether it's listening with my eyes, viewing, or listening to our customers, I'm the guy that's up till 1 a.m. talking to you and Lola on a Friday night. I might have popped a soda or two, and we talk till 1 a.m. about B vans and life, and it's super cool. It's super cool, and you really got to love the segment. You really got to be passionate about the segment, like you and Lola are, to be successful in this. And it's not easy. The B van game is tough. It's funny. I'm hearing a lot of other companies wanting to get in the B van game. We've got some other divisions within our company that want to get in the B van game, and I just tell them, hey, if you don't do it like I do it and like my team does it, which we found to be very successful as far as the customer service and customer relations, then don't try it, because I'm going to beat you.
Competition is good. Yeah,
I mean, at the end of the day, you got to do it right, and I think we got a really good playbook. And we're hearing a lot of people question our competitors, and I touched on this with you in a previous video that a lot of the big guys, and we're not big, we're small. You've seen our facilities, and we've driven by Thor. You saw that monstrosity over there. Winnebago, we don't get to go out there, but they've got a monstrosity out there. But we work with what we got as far as facilities, and we build one heck of a product. And yesterday I was running to CVS to get some cough drops, and I was coming back through Middlebury, and the whole 2 lanes, on the outside 2 lanes going north and south, were all buggies. And it was a bunch of buggies around 5 o'clock at night. It was dark, so all the lights are going off. And I was thinking about coming into this YouTube live session, and that is us. That Middlebury simple way of life. And, we could move production to Elkhart, where we may be able to get more people, but I don't want to, I'm from Elkhart. I don't want to be building in Elkhart. I love this community. You feel it when you come in
Hmm.
here. It's
Yep.
kind of going back to Mayberry, and it is Middlebury, but it's simple and it reflects who we are. Don't get in your way. Do what you say. Always do the right thing. Some of this stuff is what I've always said, but it is exactly who we are. Yeah, I'm privileged to be the GM here. I get to interact with so many different people. A gentleman just came down the hallway the other day, to my office. I recognized him, didn't know which customer it was. All he wanted to do is talk about this bucket list trip to Alaska that he did in his Beyond. And he got a nail in the sidewall of his tire.
Okay.
And he was like, that's the only thing that happened. A couple of the big motorized, a windshield fell out. A couple of the hitches on the big motorized fell off, and the tow vehicle went down the hill. So I got to hear all these stories. But the number one thing was that look on his face. Just, I did it. I was able to
Hmm.
do it. And with your platform and Dean's platform and Frawley's platform and Dutch's platform, we get to see that those real life travels and experiences that, you know, if I can give any retiree some confidence to continue moving on in your life, don't retire and stop. You didn't
Hmm.
work for that all your life. You worked hard to adventure and get out, and so it's cool. We get to plan your retirement, I guess,
Yeah.
and provide tools for your retirement if you're that age group. Now, you guys are a little bit younger than our typical age group. You're my age. So some of these folks in the 60s are our uncles. But excuse me, sorry.
Hmm.
But it's all good. We're going forward. We're finishing the year very strong. We got a couple hurdles this year to get over. Interest rates came down at what, quarter point yesterday. Talks of interest rates coming down again. So looking forward to a great 2026.
Yeah. Yeah. So lots of good stuff in there. It's kind of I would be remiss if I didn't say to everyone that Coachmen Class B does like sponsor. We're ambassadors for you guys for everything we do. I feel like I need to say that to everyone. I bought a Coachman Class B van. I bought a Beyond before that all happened. I think I just got lucky, Nick. I always tell people that. It wasn't like a super deliberate thing on my part that I bought a Coachman. I just wanted something all-wheel drive.
Yeah.
But, I got lucky. Yeah, I did get
You got
lucky.
very lucky, and we did
Yeah.
too. And this relationship, it was raining. I came around the backside of a van. I think Tampa Show 2022 or three, and there you were with a hoodie, with a rain jacket on, and we said I had rain boots on, and we said, okay, let's go talk. And you had already bought your van at that time, so
Hmm.
super cool story. And good things happen to good people. And you guys have been great customers,
Hmm.
great ambassadors, and I think we've held our end of the relationship. Not that we wouldn't, but a lot of the people up here, they recognize you, they get excited when you come up here.
Hmm.
And now I see these guys coming to me, hey, did you see this video of Hanks the other day? I'm like, oh my gosh, not you guys, like plant guys.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I'm joking, not you guys.
Right.
But
Hmm.
look, it spreads, and they're passionate about the Class B segment too. So yeah, it's
Yeah.
going really good. We're really blessed here.
Yeah.
um,
I mean, like I said, I think we got lucky. The I think you like I said in the beginning, and I mean it. Over the overall umbrella of the company that you're in is a big one, but the
Huge.
Class B section inside of that is relatively young, and it's like a startup. When did you start building vans? In
So
18, 17, something like that?
prior, I started January 4th, 2017.
Okay.
The division was started in January of 2015. I was not here. There
Okay.
was another general manager. A lot of the group leaders were here. The plant manager, John Fry, amazing
Mm-hmm.
man, amazing leader, amazing Class B builder. He was here at that time. Half my career has been in the Class Bs. I've been here almost 20 years. So the fact that I got this opportunity, I didn't know what I was getting into. Something felt right. I needed a change. I wanted a change. I told some of my peers and cohorts what I was going to do and move on from my great position in the fifth wheel division. Um, and come over here, and everybody was like, "You are nuts. What are you doing?" And I talked to some people that were in the Class B world prior to my decision, and they all said what I'm seeing today, and what we're seeing today is that this is the future of motorized camping.
Yeah, I agree.
We see Class A's kind of weaning off for whatever reason. Class C's will always be hyper popular. We got the B plus segment that is close to the B's, B Class B competition that there is, but still we have those just die hard van folks. And what's cool is I was just looking at stats yesterday, and I was going to email them to you, but we don't need to get that detailed. But what was cool is last year the market was down about mid 20%. Okay. Now we're at the beginning of the year we were down. Mid-year this year we were down about 15%. The segment from years past. Okay. So this stat reporting month was for October, and October we're only down 10%, and that's not Coachmen. That's the whole Class B segment. Winnebago, Thor, everybody down about 11%, and that's not bad. So we're seeing some return to normalcy. There was a time every single year Class Bs were up 30%, and that's you just can't. That's unsustainable. So you knew there was going to be a hiccup, and here we are today.
There was a big bump for COVID. I think I bought during COVID. I decided to move out of my office space and buy a van to be my space. And maybe that's like you said, thinking from it's weird for me to say I'm younger, I'm 54, but I think there's a lot of other people that were doing that at the time. But this is a segment I think is going to keep growing because you do have people who are retiring and they don't want to just stay home or just go on a trip like once a year. They want to get out and travel around the country, and it is getting more and more expensive to go with bigger things. And I think the future is going to be we'll have everything, but a lot of people coming down to smaller and smaller. So, and then you'll have a lot of young people getting into it because I think a lot of young folks don't necessarily want to buy homes and stuff like that. And a lot of them have the opportunity to work from home or have their own businesses. So we're going to see this more and more. Lola was saying here, not to, I want to make sure we stick to some things. Lola says, congratulations, Nick, on winning the DSI award 2 years in a row. I kind of see them over there in the corner.
Yep. Thank you, young lady.
An opportunity to explain what that award is.
So let me do this. Okay. This is 2024. Now, this plaque doesn't seem like much, but the effort that goes into it, it means a lot. So here's 2025. Went to Vegas a couple last month and received this. So what does this mean? Is it something that you can buy through incentivizing your dealers? Is it something you buy a bunch of pizzas for the service department and no? So that used to be the way it was in a kind of back in the heyday. Back when it was a little Wild West. Some manufacturers say, I'll give you a $2,000 discount on a fifth wheel or the next 10 you order if you vote for us and well, you don't deserve it. Well, do you want the $10,000 now? Oh, well, okay, it's a vote. We'll vote for you. Well, it's much harder than that today. So what does it mean? It means the dealers vote on who of their partners are the most outstanding in helping them run their business. And rarely ever do you have a supplier that is so critical in helping your customer be worry-free. So what does this mean? Paul, parts, service, warranty. Do we pay our warranty claims on time? Yes. Miranda, when the parts ship, are the parts correct? Does it take 3 times to send a freshwater tank instead of 1 time? All this adds up to time for the consumer. John Fry, right out of the gate, are our products built to a level of satisfaction to the customers where a dealer can make respectable money, and do we support them after the fact? Do the salesmen pick up their phone and answer questions? Tommy and Josh and Kyle are in a unique position. We have so much phone traffic. We have so many plant tours here. It would be tough for me to be a rep here, but I make these guys do it because it's part of what I see as my bigger vision. And you see sometimes you come in here and it's like almost like we're an RV dealership, but we're part of a big conglomerate, Berkshire Hathaway conglomerate, and they leave us alone to a certain extent, and so does corporate, and they let us do what we feel is correct, and that's just through trial and error. They were watching me real close when I first started, just waiting for the other foot to drop. Oh man, are we sure we hired the right guy here? But it's been we've had our ups and downs. If we started in 2015, we're basically a 10-year-old right now. I know we've got an announcement to make sometime next year. I think we're going to be creeping into our 10,000th unit, probably around Q2 or Q3 next year, which is enormous. We don't talk about it much. You see everybody celebrating their 2,000, 5,000. Well, 7,000, we forgot to do a publication at 5. Tommy forgot to do one at 7,000, so we're going to do one at 10,000. And sometimes you don't need to toot your horn on that stuff, but we've been around a long
So you're
time.
building about 1,000 vans a year.
Okay, so this year we're going to hit around that 900 mark. Years past we have hit 1,000, but my number one thing is we build what we sell. Okay, we don't sell what we build. You follow me? Some people are building way too much. They build opens, meaning units that don't have a dealer's name on it or a customer's name. And at the end of the month, they go, hey, here, I've got 5 of these units. I'll give you $15,000 off. That's just not a good game plan, and it devalues your product. It confuses the customer. And I talk to some dealers, and I'm not going to say the name of this company, but I talk to some dealers, and they're like, man, it is almost impossible to order one of these vans because it's such a back and forth. It should be, it's this much money. You PO it and it ships. It doesn't need to be an act of Congress in order to go back and forth and buy a van. So we just try to keep things very simple. Everybody's got so much to do. Dealers have so much to do. If we can support them, we know we're supporting our end users, and our reputation with our customers, our rally folks. You see it. We just try to do it different, and it's working. And nobody can seem to copy us.
Let's get this question in from Doug. Doug says, as some other manufacturers do, has Coachmen considered producing a detailed model-specific owner's manual, such as I received with my Tafina?
Sure. Good question, Doug. I'm working on this. We're actually working with a customer, Nova customer. His first name's Mike. I won't say his last name, but he does a lot of training, manuals, etc., owner's manuals for the trucking space, the heavy-duty trucking, over-the-road trucks, Kenworth type stuff. And I'm working on it. It's very frustrating to me. That's why we are starting to do a lot of how-to videos. And I will say something that I might get in trouble. We do have a strange corporate there's a corporate policy that our motorized manuals have to be kind of generic, and I don't like that. So I'm working behind the scenes to make sure we have a specific how to operate your Truma Combi, how to operate your Truma G, how to operate your Firefly, how to operate your Garmin, how to operate your CP Plus. So we're doing some more how-to videos. Your videos that we did this summer were very little choppy on my end just because of the temperature and the space I gave you. But I think they were tremendously effective. And we're going to continue to do more of this. You're going to see in 2026 some FAQs printed off and posted to our Facebook pages. Frequently asked questions. So, just trying to really get stuff refined. We got some new offerings to show for next year. For those people that didn't see the video from Open House, that went over phenomenally well. The products that you went through, I think you and Lola both were very impressed at the work the plant did, and man, we had a record show at Open House, and the 24RB went over wonderfully. The 1.8 went over great. The Truma G product across the board has been spectacular. The Van Compass on the Galleria, the new pop top for you. It's just, we just keep on striking that iron, and it's working.
Yeah. In the minute we have here, what I would respond to that before we go into the next segment, I think it would be, obviously a published manual is nice. I think it'll be nice, I think even better to have something that's a little bit more active, maybe online or through a users group or something that could be updated, have videos in it, that everyone could contribute to in some way, including the owners groups, etc. And I always recommend to people to go to the owners groups, because those are the folks dealing with everything every day, and they'll be able to tell you how to deal with stuff. But there are rolling improvements going through vans as they go out. So it needs something that's more active and live. And you got...
Yep. It's a goal of mine. I've got a certain manufacturer's owner's manual right over my shoulder here. That's what I want to be. And it's about that thick. And it's not that thick. But in the meantime...
Well, we're taking a break. Well, let's take...
Okay.
Coachmen Class B. All right, so sorry about that, Nick. I wanted to let you finish your thought.
You're fine. Don't know where I was going with that, but
okay. I've got some more comments and questions. I'll pop up here.
Let's go back to Vanessa Kitty.
Okay.
She asked, "Are our vans Arctic ready?" Meaning very well insulated.
Okay.
So Vanessa, we just got out of doing some testing at Truma, and Truma let us borrow their heat booth. Their heat booth goes to anywhere from 110 to 120 degrees, and it gets down to, I want to say, 34, 35 degrees.
Okay.
Last year before Tampa show, we went in and did testing, and we failed. The reason we failed is Truma didn't put up the front window covers, and they didn't pull down my blinds.
Okay.
So it let a lot of the heat out. They heat up the unit, they soak it.
Yeah, windows are a big weak point on a van.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. And this year, we did so well that the engineer that you've met, Michael, from Truma from Europe, was laughing. He's like, I told you should have just put the sticker in German on your van because I knew you were going to pass it. Well, I said, okay, did we pass or were we the best you've ever seen? And he goes, you're the best we've ever seen. I go, okay, no more Truma approved sticker. I want Truma, and I want 5 stars. I want a 5-star rating, a 3-star rating, a 2. You know what I mean?
I understand.
So in a long story short, Vanessa, we use a very different insulation application than most of the industry. It's tried and true. It works. It's thought out. So yeah, I have the best insulated van there is in the Class B segment, and that is kind of where we started getting on the scene when we addressed the Class B segment's insulation or lack of, and the Class B lack of a good lithium system back in like 18. And that's kind of when we started to see our trajectory and started earning some reputation in the Class B world.
Yeah, and just for me to interject here, I think that, and by the way, I know Vanessa Kitty very well. If you're planning on going into Alaska and when it's the coldest, I think you're going to have multiple strategies regardless of whatever van you use. The ambient temperature in Alaska is going to make a big difference. You can't get over the physics of that. I think the way the van was built, insulated, and then like we're mentioning, the windows is a big point where you lose heat or cooling that's in the van. So, and I know you have window treatment. What I do is I even double up. I've shown you that, I think. Like, I've got these pads that act as an extra insulator between your window treatments. There's a bunch of different things that you can do. So, you got to have a strategy, but having a well-built van is good as well.
Yeah.
So, congratulations on that from Truma. When are we going to start seeing this 5 stars, we're the best sticker?
Well, they didn't like that idea.
Okay.
Because then it would cause some problems. But all of our stuff, we'll have
bet.
the Truma we'll have the Truma approved sticker. And, our folks, winter's one thing. Mm-hmm. Summer's important too. Insulation for summer's important too.
Yes.
That heat coming in. So the 2 applications we use, and we've used it forever, is Cozy Wrap, which helps break down thermal transfer of heat through the body of the chassis, the metal body of the chassis, and then we back that up with rock wool. And rock wool is an amazing product. It's not the pink stuff. A lot of guys right now are using cellulose, black cellulose material. It's about this thick, maybe an inch thick, and calling it a day. Mm-hmm. It's not. Maybe it's a sound deadener, but it's definitely not anything over R2. And I don't know. That's why you don't see the interior pictures of a van at the stage of installation. You cannot find any other Class B van in the industry that would publicly post pictures of their installation department. I'm the only one.
Okay. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Have you ever seen Winnebago, Thor, or anybody show what their installation is? I've never seen one.
No, I see the smaller builders doing that. I'm trying to think.
Independent builders, the boutique builders, and that's fine. That's cool. And we took some of our ideas from them. They've been doing it a little bit longer than us at the time of 2018. But anybody in the RVIA space, I've never seen anybody tout their installation, and that makes me a little suspect.
Well, and if we do how it's made videos, we try to show that, if we're allowed to show that. Couple of things. Oh, also, I just want to mention this. When Nick was talking about the testing at Truma, I have I think I have a few videos on this, but Truma literally has a huge refrigerator that you can drive I think you could drive a Class A in there. So they drive the van in there and they cool the whole thing down. It's very interesting. Yep. I've not seen anyone else doing that. So at SCA North America says well-earned award from a great team at Coachmen. This is from Pierce.
Yeah, you've met Pierce, haven't you? I don't think, maybe you've not met him, but he was here the other day.
Pop Top Roofs. Okay, I see. Okay.
Yeah, he's our new Pop Top supplier. He's the rep.
Interesting.
He does a fantastic job.
Okay.
He was the one taking pictures of me in the in his van that had a Ford Pop Top.
Yeah. And I've been pushing you on Pop Tops while we're on the subject. I think listen. I think that I don't think it's a new thing, but I think it's a feature that I would at least like to have to be an option. But obviously, it has to, in my opinion, be done a certain way. And I think a lot of people feel like Pop Tops are just for the kids or grandkids. And I think that, to me, if something is going to add maybe $10,000 or $15,000 to the price of whatever the van is, I think it's going to be more useful if the people who pay for that van every month can also use it. So
it's a whole other bedroom. It's a whole other bedroom in a unit that doesn't have a slide out. That's typically limited by chassis length. The biggest chassis we go is 24.2. So to have another bedroom,
it raises your elevation. So when you're sightseeing, I think it's awesome because you get above the crowd. You know, so there's some good things there, and so like I said, you and I actually work together, right? You help us to do this. Yeah. And for that reason, I give you the toughest time, right?
That's fine, man. We want a challenge. Life isn't easy. Work is a 4-letter word, right?
Yeah.
And work is not spelled easy. And like I said at the beginning, one of my jobs as a GM is to be the best listener. Yeah. And we tease you sometimes when you come in and start talking Pop Tops when you're here. And I just walk by it. Now I say Pop Tart. Did you say Pop Tart? But look. I get where you're coming from. You want the
Hmm.
best for us, because you're part of this team. You and Lola, just like Dean and Mike and Dutch. So
Hmm.
yeah, we listen, and we can't do everything, but we're going to do as much as we can with the time that we have to make sure we have the best Class B products. And I think we're competing real well. We're
Yeah.
competing very, very well.
I think that you guys are, and I think it's always my job to to push for more for the folks out there and better. And I know that's what you care about as well. Here's a comment from Doug. He says, Hank, online is good, but not all info online is accurate when everyone can contribute.
Yep.
So, I mean, that is true.
He's,
That is true.
yep.
Can't argue that one, right?
It's like reviews when you go shopping for something. You look at all the reviews.
Yeah.
You kind of formulate, okay, is this real? Is this
Hmm.
fake? My thing back here, and my employees laugh at me. I go, if I hear it once,
Hmm.
okay. If I
Yeah.
hear it twice,
Hmm.
I heard that not too long ago. If I hear
Yeah.
about it 3 times, whether positive or negative, okay, now we got something that I need to dig into. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
on Doug's comment, do your homework.
Hmm.
Do your homework on the dealership. Do your homework on the product. See if you can get into some owners groups. Like on the Beyond page, we do what's called a wannabe, where they can hang out for a little bit and see what the group's like. And usually when they get that far, they're like, oh my gosh, Dean or Frawley or Dutch, they do such a great job. I want to be part of this. And it's a big group of friends that you never had before. And, it's
Yeah.
super cool. Super
I
cool.
mean, and I agree with him. I know, even doing what I'm doing, making YouTube videos, I'm always looking up, not just in the van world, anything that I'm doing, I'm always looking at YouTube videos. I was doing that last night with Lola, trying to figure something out. And there's so many different videos, and it's tough to get the specific information you want. And we work on it, a lot here. So going there and doing the videos with yourself and your guys, and even like we put up a video, and when we looked at it, we realized, okay, this is confusing. We took it down and went back to the editing table with it and put out 2 versions of that video to make it more clear. And that is the nature of when you're doing stuff online. But getting something in a publication has the opposite effect. It takes a long time when everyone has to go through and approve these things and make sure it's correct, and you have liability and all that to get things in publication. So it's a balance of both of those things. So Larkin says, any chance of a bit bigger gray tank on Novas and Beyonds?
Not at this time. Not at this time. One thing that we might be going back a gallon or two.
Mm-hmm.
When we did the open house, traditionally we always run a 30-gallon fresh tank. When we were at open house, I showed you that we're trying to get gravity fill across the board on all current products, and almost everything we debuted new at open house had a gravity fill. So
Right.
gravity fill is just taking a garden hose, putting it in a fill, and filling your tank.
Yeah.
So you can still fill from the outside city water if you wanted, but if you ever get in a jam and you needed to fill with a jerry can or a neighbor's garden hose or a gas station garden hose, you can do that. So in order to do that, we had to reconfigure, and we needed to bring it down. We needed to bring the fill up, and the fill going up, we can't use the full 30 gallons. Okay, so there's gonna be a little. So we're like 29 gallons now, but no. We do not have any plans at this time to go anything larger than a 30. Now, we got some products in the future that we'll probably touch on here that we would like to take a look at from the onset prototype phase, having something more than 30 gallons.
Okay, so that's fresh water with gray. So your fresh is around 30. What's the gray usually?
Oh, man, I knew I should have had I think it's, I want to say 13-ish.
Okay.
Maybe I think that's light.
Yeah, because I always ask the same question that she's asking. Like, it's good to have a bigger, fresh tank. And I think that's where everyone kind of focuses on. But when you're out there traveling and you have to find a way to dump that gray tank and it fills up so fast, especially because, that's the one that's going to fill up fast, right? Because you're washing your hands. Yep. If you shower, if you wash the dishes, anything you're doing with that water becomes gray. That's the point. So I think I understand where she's coming from with having a bigger gray tank.
Around 15 gray across the board with the 3 brands and 12 to 13 black.
Okay. And is there just a strategic reason for that? Because you do have to think about dumping that gray tank.
Yeah. At the outset, 30 gallons was back when we started, was kind of on the big side. So we felt good with 30, but now we're seeing our retired customers, and a lot of these folks. And it's funny how they bought a Beyond or a Nova, and now they want something a little bit more aggressive, and they want something a little bit more off-road, capable. They don't want to go rock climbing, but they might want to just go a little bit further than they went to the at the last trip at this location. They might want to go a little bit further out, and they don't feel comfortable to damage their Beyond or their Nova. So we're looking at some, I'm not going to call it Overland products by any mean. If you take a look at stats, if you talk to anybody right now, the Overland products are kind of oversaturated. But we're going to come out with it our way, a little bit more simple. You and I have talked about this, and we're looking at doing this on the Ford chassis. We're not going to go to a smaller chassis. We're not going to go to a non-dually chassis. We're going to use the existing chassis. Chassis are very expensive, and for me to run this operation right now, we got about 350 chassis. Average invoice is above $60,000. So you do the math of the carrying cost of all this, and we're happy to do it, but we got to make sure we're strategic on it. And I'm really looking forward to having a product. Hopefully around the rally time, the owner's rally, on the Ford Transit chassis, and something very similar to Pixel.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to revisit that gray tank thing later if we can. Or we'll do it. We'll do it another time. Just because I want to get a lot of the comments and stuff like that in. Lola says, speaking of the chassis, the video with Carl was a great video, great info-packed video. Good job on that. Yes, that was a good video.
I'm surprised how many views and comments that video got. Because usually it's an interesting subject, but there's not a lot going on. There's no movement through the plant. There was amazing amount of comments, amazing amount of feedback, and I thought that video surprised me. That was the day after open house. I thought everybody would be videoed out.
Yep, I know I was.
But it was amazing. It was amazing.
It was a good video. Yeah.
And rarely do we, when we talk at a show or when we're talking to customers on the phone, do we get into the brass tacks of the chassis. Okay, it's a Dodge Ram 20-foot 11 chassis. Okay, it's just like a Winnebago, or, well, maybe not, guys. We spec our chassis out heavy. We don't decontent our stuff, so. Yeah,
I think some people take the chassis as an afterthought, but it is a big part of people's decisions. And not even to take favorites. I think some people like the ProMaster because they want something smaller. Some people love the Mercedes because they want something bigger, or they like that big Mercedes star on there. Myself, I'm a fan of the Transit just because I like the all-wheel drive, or, there's a lot of Ford dealerships out there. So, yeah, I think that's a very useful thing. That's the kind of thing I would want to know about. Go ahead.
Yeah, that video just touched on the attributes of each chassis. What's the positives of each chassis, and each one of them for the price point do have very beneficial attributes.
Yeah,
for the customer.
And that with the 3 minutes we have here before we go into the next segment, there is new stuff coming out, and I think you and I drove the Pixel 1.8, and then the 2.0, Lola and I took it to the Keys a few weekends ago. You want to make some comment on the new stuff? You mentioned the Galleria rear bath. So, what can you tell us about the new stuff that's out? And we haven't seen everything hit dealerships yet.
Right. Stuff shipping. New product is shipping to the dealers. We have yet to ship our Tampa product yet. We're going to be shipping that in the next couple weeks. 24 RB, absolute stunner. Why is it an absolute stunner, Nick? I'm no genius here, guys. We just put the biggest fridge we could in a rear bath because it's non-existent. It's that simple. We made it look good. We added some flair with the lighting, the Garmin, the new interior, the pontoon boat floor, the van compass, the new chassis color. Super cool.
Yeah.
The 1.8, obviously the 1.8 stands out for a reason that we are getting into a smaller world. We want to target a little bit more solo campers. It's not necessarily just a female camper, and I'm only saying that because I always say when me and you did videos around the 1.8, this is strictly for the female solo camper. Well, no, Nick, it's not. It's for more than that, but that's kind of the heart or the spirit. We wanted to give these gals something that could be a daily driver. All right, but it's across the board. So the 1.8, we're getting overwhelmed by that. Kyle was kind of complaining the other day, which I was like, well, it's not a bad problem to have. He goes, I'm not getting any dealer calls right now, but he goes, but I cannot get off the phone with retail customers on the 1.8 after Hank's video. And, that's super cool to let you guys come in. You guys come in and see the open house and to be able to see the whole industry, at least Forest River, what we're bringing out, because it's not just us. There's all kinds of cool stuff that comes out for open house. And then we had an amazing open house. Forest River had an amazing open house. So very, very important.
Yeah. Quick question, because we got 30 seconds. Doug, what is this? Doug Mank says, I'm still hoping for a pop-up countertop extension for the Pixel 1.8.
I believe I've seen your comment the other day, and let me take a look at this, okay?
Yeah. I think there's some rolling changes going through with both of the Pixels, right? So
yeah, one thing that's disappointed me is we tried this black aluminum corner radius that I think you saw in the 1.8 Pixel. It's at the base cabinet in a couple of strategic areas. Well, the extrusion comes out of California and they're struggling, so I might have to drop it. It's not a big deal, or it was an aesthetic European look that I wanted, but stuff is still happening in the supply chain. It's not as bad as what it was years past. I'm not even talking about COVID, but there's still some stuff happening that doesn't make any sense.
Okay, let's try to do a lightning round here. Dave says, "Is solar AC up to the job?" ? Thanks. I'm not sure.
I don't know of any AC that can be powered off solar. If I'm interpreting that correctly, is solar AC up to the job? Our AC is up to the job. It is a 13.5 Truma, very low amp draw, very quiet. It's got a dehumidifier mode. We really like it. We use the standard Coleman Mach on pop top versions because the Truma's got a little bit larger footprint on the roof than the Coleman Mach. So the Coleman Mach always on the pop top. And I believe our solar is adequate, if I'm touching on what Dave's asking. Typically a NovaCool is going to take 4 to 6 amps a day.
That's a refrigerator.
Yep, NovaCool refrigerator, one of the best refrigerators in the business. I pay a lot of money for those products. They generally don't break. We generally don't have any problems with them. We get them on time. It's just a very durable refrigerator. But the AC is meant to put about 6 to 8 amps back in per day to offset that refrigerator draw.
Yeah. An AC unit opposite to that is going to just make a huge pull. Even a 12-volt one might be better, but I don't.
So in that
I think this not every 12-volt is built equal. Let's put it that way.
In that case, if you wanted to put a 12-volt air conditioner on the roof, you would probably have to have, outside of your air conditioner, the whole roof on a 24-foot, 2-inch Mercedes would have to be all solar.
You'd have to have some wings, in my opinion. Yeah, you need at least 1,000 watts
Yep.
or something like that.
Yep.
So Larkin says, my love is the Nova 20D, but my passion is the Pixel 1.8. Just not sure I can do long trips in it. Can't wait to see it in person.
Everybody thinks our 20 RB is our number one seller. Actually, it's funny because the 20C and the 20D fight it out every month. We sell a ton of rear bass, don't get me wrong here, but the C and the D, it's 1 month the C, 1 month the D, couple months the D. I like the D because you have the full view of the rear end. You can open your doors. The bathroom isn't back there. Very utilitarian, very good for pet owners. You have the side door, the van door, the side van door, and you have the rear door, so it's good for pets. It's good for bicycles, canoes, paddle boards, all that jazz. So I'm just glad, Larkin, that you're looking at my products and my team's products and my company's products because your search is going the right direction.
Yeah. So let me get to this question here from Rory. Says, any plans for a lithium option on the Pixel 1.8?
Rory, if I were to build the Pixel 1.8 without lithium, this podcast would have been terrible. And so we already have the 1.8 designed in with lithium option available. And thank you for that question. I'm glad you asked that because this is one of the comments on the 1.8 that I've seen the most that I haven't been able to reply to. So what you'll see here in 2026, we will be phasing out of our 640 amp Lithionics battery to our 660 amp Lithionics battery. So same price, same all that jazz, just getting a little bit more dense of a battery that's a little smaller than the 640, but yet it's 660. And by doing the 660, now we're going to be able to double up lithium batteries in the rear baths. Because before in the rear baths, we didn't have enough space for the 640, how it was built. 640 is more like a big shoebox. 660's more narrow. We can fit it in some places that we couldn't fit the 640.
Let me ask you this question before we go to the other questions and comments out there, because I saw this when we put up, I think when we put up the Pixel 2.0 that we went to the Keys. People want to know if you're going to have a version that is, perhaps, let me see, the best way to say this is it's built to have lithium in it, but not lithium, so you could put in maybe your own batteries, like save some money or something. Because I think if you add the lithium option to a Pixel, it kind of like notches up into a different category. So if there was some way that you had the connections in there that I could put in, like I don't know, a EcoFlow, a Blue Eddy, those portable batteries or something might be cool. I don't know if you're thinking or looking at that.
We're always thinking. I'm pretty much married to this lithium battery manufacturer, Lithionics. I get kicked around a lot by corporate that I'm buying batteries from Winnebago. Well, I was buying these batteries before Winnebago bought Lithionics. When I started buying these batteries back in 2018, nobody really wanted to be on Lithionics either, right?
Okay.
So then Winnebago comes in and buys them. I get calls from corporate saying, you got to drop this battery. I'm like, you guys don't know what you're talking about. I go, yeah, I'll drop the battery, but we're going to have some serious problems. And
I'm assuming they don't want to write a check to their competition.
Well, no, I mean, nobody does, but, shame on us. We should have bought that place. But that's just not how we operate.
Good point.
So, for years, Winnebago had been using Volta. Everybody's been using all this other stuff. Well, now in the last 6 months, you can see the industry is coming to Lithionics. And it makes me proud that a couple hillbillies, me and John Fry, sat in front of this engineer with this big battery that can blow up my office. And we vetted it and questioned and we picked the right, kind of like you were talking about picking us. We just something felt good about it. We felt comfortable. It fit what we needed, and it wasn't what everybody else was doing, and it worked. And now you see, like Jayco just switched over to Lithionics, and these guys are switching over to Lithionics. So, I don't need their validation for our Lithionics decision, but deep in our heart, with the warranty that we've seen, which is just so remote, so small on lithium. We're very proud of this. The way Paul, Jeff, Seth, the way we handle the lithium system, man, it's super cool. And now we
So I
got the
mean,
Garmin system and Victron and
so maybe is it possible to have an option of a smaller battery then for the people that are price conscious? Maybe a 300, a 320, or something like that.
we did. Tommy went off the reservation mid-year this year,
Okay.
aided by a dealer that
What happened to your audio? You went to Donald Duck there for a second. Go ahead, talk. Yeah, I don't know why your audio's coming in weird. You you might have to. That's weird. That's funny. Yeah, you might have to unplug it and plug it back in. Yeah, for me at least, it sounds like Donald Duck when you're talking there. I don't know what happened. Um, yeah, that's weird. Yeah, I don't know. Forgive me for that. I'll get to Michael Frawley says 24 RB was really cool. Thanks for that, Michael. I'm not. I don't know if you.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you're coming in.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're good.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. So Michael Frawley says 24 RB was really cool. What was the thing you were trying? Yeah, what was the comment you were making before the Donald Duck voice came in? I don't even know how that happened, or I don't know if you folks heard that out there.
It was I was ending the lithium conversation.
Mm-hmm.
So we're really pleased, just like you are, that you chose the Beyond and Coachmen, but we're really pleased with Lithionics. Now,
Half a battery is what we were talking about. Yeah.
I'm listening to what you're saying,
Mm-hmm.
and I do have momentum in a certain arena
Mm-hmm.
with your idea that I'm not quite willing to talk about yet.
Okay. All
It's
right.
something we definitely sniffing around that tree.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Real Val says out. What is it? Out Equip Pro 12-volt rooftop AC. Yeah, you know what? I'll listen. I love it when people suggest things because I'm definitely not aware of everything. So maybe we can look that up
Writing this down.
and look into it and see how it is. And when I say that 12 volts, there are some really good 12 volts out there. So I know for me being in Florida, high humidity and stuff like that, I need like if I was going to get a 12 volt, it would really have to be a workhorse. But thanks for that, Real Val. Let's see. T Valley says 2026 22C carbonized gray on order. Not sure when it's coming, but can't wait.
Ring the bell. I need to get a bell in here when people do that.
I think. Wait, hold on. Do I have a bell?
You gotta ring that.
Let me see. I think I have a bell. I think I have a bell in here somewhere if I could find it.
I got a safety blow horn in case we have a fire, but I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah. Nope. Can't. That's funny. I saw. Oh, here we go. Hold on.
There we go. T-Valley.
Yeah, there you go.
Looking forward to you getting to Middlebury if you ever can, and looking forward to meeting you.
Yeah, congratulations on that.
That's awesome.
Expat Eva says, "What happened to your plans for an adventure van, the Salient?"
Oh, talk about a listener. I knew I was going to get this today. I was outside taking a break next to the blue van that you know about. Expat Ava. I'm a 53-year-old, 5'11" man. I weigh 230 pounds. I need to lose some weight, and so does the Salient. I'm a little heavy on my weight. There's some pretty aggressive weight
Requirements or
goals,
standards.
requirements got to get to that the boutique builders, since we're RVIA, they don't have to. So I'm working on it. I'm sorry I probably talked about that a little earlier than I should. But Hank, you've seen the van. Pretty cool start. Some coordination in there.
We were driving it around and stuff like that. So, there's a lot of research and work that goes into it. Mm-hmm.
Yep, that's where we got introduced to the Van Compass, and that's why we moved it over to Galleria too. I got to look at some things in that. I got to shave like 1,800 pounds.
Wow.
And so we need to go back to the drawing board a little bit. I think we got a good footprint. We just got to iron out some of the details. Instead of our typical floor, we might have to go to a composite floor, et cetera, et cetera. So it's something you'll see from me. I'm pretty stubborn. I don't like, most guys would just say, forget it. We're not going to do it. But man, we did it. And we just got to finish it, finish it right. Don't just say no. When somebody's in the middle of a weight loss goal and they're somebody like me, and just don't quit. Don't quit until you hit your goal, no matter how hard it is. And it's tough. We're going through this weight restriction problem on another product that we got to pull about 400 pounds out of her. And it's not going to be like at a racetrack where you just start unbolting stuff and throwing stuff over to the left and the right to get it. We can't do that.
That's always the first thing I tell you, right? I always tell you, throw this out, throw that thing. So you always look at me like, what are you talking about?
So great question, expat Ava. If you ever want to reach out to us, with this van, that you're talking about, the Salient, that is our name. That's the name I want for it. We are working with Peter from Rover, which has been a successful relationship. So we've got a lot of his parts on it. His parts are some of the most lightweight adventure van parts that I've scaled as far as put them on a scale. So we're getting there. There. We got a big move coming up mid-year next year with a new 108,000 square foot plant that will really let us get into some new products. And right now, Hank, I don't have much room at all here. Like we are covered up. And to launch another product line within something like that, within this environment that I'm at, these plants, it would kind of ruffle some feathers in my plant. So I think I'm going to hold on to this, still do some homework on it, some product development, and really start tightening the screws on this once we get over to our new plant across the street.
Okay, when do you guys break ground on the new plant? Or is that I don't know if that's public right now.
I'll send you a picture of where the first plant, which is not mine. The first plant is not mine. The second plant will be mine. But it is a monstrosity. And I went by. I usually don't.
I think we drove by there the last time I was up there with you, but I don't think we put anything out on it.
No, but once the structure got up, I choked up a little bit. Like I choked up quite a bit. Number one, I was terrified of a building that big because we've got a very manageable 2.5 buildings right now, very small. But we need space. It'll better us. But I choked up, number one, for responsibility of a 108,000 square foot plant. I mean, it looks like an Amazon facility. And number two, it feels like we're growing up. It feels like I'm turning 11 next year. We are turning 11 next year. And I'm looking forward to putting that investment into us and our people by Forest River to the best use possible. And we just want to be the most responsible Class B builder out there. And that goes for, what's customer service, warranty, parts. I want 5 tool players across the board. So we have superstars here. I'm only so good as my people, and they're only so good as their boss that lets them do what they're great at. So I don't like micromanaging. I hired you for a reason. I want your heart, number one. I want your mind and your dedication, and I want you to manage that. And come to me for questions if you get cornered. But I hired you for a reason. I trust your decision making. I trust that you're always going to do the right thing.
Michael Frawley says, "Is that the blue Sprinter that you're discussing?"
Yes, I don't know the exact color, but I call it robin egg blue.
Yeah. And then Exhat Eva says, stoked to hear it's still a possibility in the market. Really want a Coachmen, just a little shorter that's all-wheel drive.
That's so kind.
Yeah, and then the thing I wanted to ask you about that is, are you seeing advances in technology, in the industry, in the RV industry, that you can apply to making the vans lighter weight? Because obviously this is a thing limited by the government, right, for safety reasons. So are you seeing advances that you think as time goes on here, we could take those things, apply it, and maybe make furniture or whatever else in the build lighter, still safe and all that stuff?
through RRE and SCA, my pop top supplier, have some kind of relationship. So the RRE company, RRE has got some unique plywood that is some of the lightest ply I've ever felt. I just spoke to a buddy that I've been in the industry with for a long time yesterday. He works for somebody that sells composite flooring. So that's something we need to look at. But yeah, I'm always open. You come into my office and it looks like a flea market some weeks. You know, my boss comes here, he's like, what is all this junk in here? Well, no, these are parts and pieces that I'm planning to use in the future, you know? He's like, man, you got to clean your office up. You're a GM. I'm like, oh, well, I don't, it's neither here nor there. We're going forward, boss.
Yeah, I think it's good. If you see where I am here, Lola's always mad because I have things all over the place. I'm always
it's just a certain kind of mind.
Yeah, Lola says, what's the new floor plan that will be debuting at Tampa? So we might as well discuss Tampa a little bit here, coming up in, at this point, a few weeks. Yeah, maybe a month or something like that.
Oh, Lola. So what is the new floor plan? But you know what the name of it is. Okay, so 22 RBBC. What kind of name is that? So we have a customer by the name of Bill Curran, and he's a wonderful, wonderful guy with a wonderful big German Shepherd and a wonderful, beautiful wife, and they're from Tennessee. They worked with my plant manager, John Fry, to turn their 22 RB on the Ford Transit, the Beyond product, into a 22 RBBC. And what am I talking about here, Nick? So what Bill did is he pulled the under-counter refrigerator on the driver's side of the rear bath Beyond and put the microwave over there on that side instead of the refrigerator, and then put a 7300 NovaCool refrigerator that's very similar to the 24 FL, the Pixel, the 24 RB, and I think I'm missing something. And I'm telling you what, it looked amazing. And John Fry, my plant manager, really assisted in some areas. Hey, Bill, watch out for venting. I'll send you a vent. Here's some insulation. Why don't you do this instead of that? And, I talk about how we listen. There's no bigger compliment than a customer coming up with a mod idea and the plant manager of the division, of a huge division, we're big division, and they collaborate to come out with something that the manufacturer actually builds, which is nuts. So what it is, it's a rear bath with a big fridge. Now, with the rear baths, like your rear bath, you have a little bit more. If you're in the corner where you sleep, you usually sleep on the driver's side bed of your rear bath. So you might not get as much light coming through if you had an open doorway. But having that big fridge, that's where the 24 RB is going to be hyper successful. And that's where this 22 RBBC is going to be hyper successful. So I hope Bill Curran doesn't sue me for using the letters B and C. He seems like a real good gentleman. He won't do that.
That's where that comes from. Okay.
Yeah. Yep. And what we're going to do, we're going to still build a 22 RB. We're going to let them fight it out in 2026. And at the end of the year, we're going to see who wins. And I got a good idea who's going to win. So why did we really do this? So at the rallies in Ocala, we're at the Sunshine State Ocala show, we run into a lot of CrossFit customers, and CrossFit was the old name before we got sued. And at that time, we only had 22C and 22D with the 6400 refrigerator. All of them, I mean, I think you guys saw this at the last rally in March.
I think we went into Bill's van, didn't we? I know Lola was in there, and I'm trying to remember if we put it on video or not.
And then outside of Bill's van, when we were all looking at it, there was like 6 people lined up, like at school. And I'm like, what's going on here? I turn around. I'm like, what's going on? They're like, we want that in a Beyond. I'm like, well, why? And they say, well, we want a rear bath, but you didn't build a rear bath CrossFit at the time. So we've got all these older customers on CrossFit that they want a rear bath, but they got to have the big fridge. And I think that's going to go. You're going to see this. I
think Lola likes the idea of the big fridge. I don't really care so much, but I see why she likes the big fridge.
I'll send you some pictures this week, bud.
Yeah,
it's online right now and almost finished. Wow.
Okay, very cool. Well, so in the Pixel 2.0, which has the bigger fridge. In the video, Lola was loving that. So I guess, when we re-up for a van, I'm going to let her have one thing, Nick.
Yeah.
She gets to, the fridge is her thing.
She gets a non-powered seat.
Oh, boy. Yeah, Lola's going to have more than one thing before anyone gets mad at me.
Yes. I stick up for Lola back here.
Yeah, exactly. I'm outvoted all the time between Nick and Lola. So Doug says the Pixel 1.8 RB is going to be a huge hit even for older couples like us. Yeah, for sure. I think that there's a lot of potential there, depending on what what you want to do with that. Lola's saying, what's Lola saying here? I'll throw it up. I did see it, but we did not get video of it during the COA rally. So you guys will see that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it'll be at Tampa.
Yeah. So speaking of Tampa, and then we are here in the phase now where we're going to start to wrap up. If you guys have other questions, hit us with it while we're doing this. Places and events that are coming up here. So Tampa, when is Tampa?
Tampa's the 12th. For me, the 12th through the 16th. Mm-hmm. Thank you for bringing this up. We will be at the Sunshine State display and the General RV display. Mm-hmm. General RV will have the Beyond product. General RV will have the Galleria product. Nick at Sunshine State and that they will have the Pixel and Nova product. Now, our space did get moved. This year, Tampa was a mess with getting our spaces allotted. So we moved a little bit. We're not in the building anymore, and that broke my heart, man. I love that building, that climate-controlled building. Yeah. Get out of the weather. It looked like a car dealership floor, shiny floor. So we're going to be just around the corner. Mm-hmm. We will make sure through StrangerPalooza, through Dean, through Dutch, through Frawley, that you guys know well in advance exactly where our products are going to be and what's going to be in there, okay? That's where the social media, outside of everything great you guys do, all of you, that's where we really can hit home pre-Tampa show. Last year, we had a tremendous turnout. Nick was very upset that we were going to be in this building. Craig was even more upset that we were going to be in the building. We all worked together, communicated, drove the customer to the building, and we had a tremendous show last year.
Yeah, so it was awesome, and everyone loved it. Yeah, and Lola and I will be in that Nova Pixel booth for the entirety of the show. So anyone who wants to come see us there, come on through. I think you're going to be moving around because, as you said, there is another booth that has the Galleria. So that's what the Rare Bath is going to be over in the General RV one, right?
Yep, both 4RB, 22 RBBC will be over at the other display. Dean, Trail Boss will be over there talking to people about Beyond. You and Lola will be at the display. Typically, I'm at the Sunshine display about 60, 65, 70%. And we give a couple reps over to General, and I bounce over there. Check on Dean, make sure he's alive and not working too hard, drinking water. And so. Yeah. So if anyone wants to see us there, and then if you missed that, the Tampa show is really the biggest one. It's a great opportunity. If you're looking for something, I would suggest going to that Tampa show because you can walk around and spend a few days there and figure out what you're really looking for. And I think probably get some really good deals during that show. And then don't forget Ocala. March. Yeah, so Ocala's in March. I've never been to Arizona, so I'm filling in for Kyle in the middle of February at Scottsdale, Arizona show, which will be a lot of fun.
Cool.
I've never been down there, looking to get back at a show outside of Tampa, and you can learn some stuff in Arizona selling a Class B or two at a show. You know what I mean? You're going to get some good feedback out there, so I'm going to get down there.
Arizona is awesome.
Yeah, we've got rallies going on. That's something really cool this year. We've had more rallies this year, and just the other day I learned of one down in Mississippi, one in the East Coast, and we try to support them the best, but they're popping up like mushrooms, and it's kind of hard to keep up with them. But that's one cool thing that Winnebago does a really good job with their WIT club and their rallies. We want to, they do a really good job with that, and it's kind of funny because the customers are doing this by themselves, and we find out late, and we're shipping stuff to them at the last minute, tchotchkes and thank yous and this, and so it's going really good there.
Yeah, and hopefully, some point in the future, I'm not saying it's going to happen next year, but hopefully we'll, be able to get out there in the future and go to some of the overlanding shows and all that. So,
yes, yeah.
That'd be fun.
A gentleman just had on a comment. He lives in northern Indiana. Can he come by the plant to see the Pixel 1.8? You're more than welcome to. Just reach out to us, and we're happy to walk you through product and show you around the plant.
Yes, absolutely. So Pierce from everyone's wishing us happy holidays and all that kind of stuff. I see the Larkin did, Lola did, and then Pierce says thanks from SCA. So I think next week there is a podcast. It may not be at the same day. I think we rescheduled it because something came up for Thursday, but we will have one next week. And then I think we might be taking a break for Christmas and all that kind of stuff. But we are going to be back doing podcasts. I think after that. So I think that actually next week it may be, and I'm probably wrong on this, but I think Zach is coming on from Class A. Oh, cool. So it's just not going to be Thursday, so because we had to reschedule that. And then after that, we will have Nick Schmidt coming on in January. Then we'll have the Tampa show, and then towards the end of January, we'll have Freedom Van Gogh on the podcast for all those folks. And this has been fun, Nick. Big thanks to you for coming in, answering questions and stuff like that. Really appreciate it, as well as for all the people listening to us and giving questions. If people want to do follow-ups after this, how do they do that with Coachmen Class B?
Well, how should we do this? I do want to start responding to podcasts a little bit better. So how do you think we should?
I think they can definitely leave questions and comments and stuff like that here, and we can get that to you. And I know you look at stuff, but is there like an email that they can reach out to? If they have some serious questions at Coachmen.
Hold on.
Yeah, Lola and I, if anything, Lola and I will help you guys get connected with these guys and pass on stuff. But they're typically very responsive.
I think it's info at. I should have had this.
Yeah,
I'll make sure we post something. Okay?
Yeah, we'll put something. Maybe we'll pin a comment once we find out at the top of this video, just for the people who don't want to go through us and get it directly out there. So just leave comments and things like that, and we'll pin an email address or something for everyone, and probably a phone number, because I know there is a call system that people can call in and get through, right? But I think you guys are changing up things a little bit.
No. Call Coachmen. Ask for Coachmen Class B. We are 1-800-353-7383, toll free. Our telephone number is 574-829. 825-8849.
Awesome. Nick, it's always fun having you on, and we will be doing some videos at Tampa and all. Nick and I are always talking and coming up with video ideas. If there's something that we're missing and not showing you in videos, please let us know. For me, those are the best videos that we do. I do videos sometimes to have fun and for them to be cool and everything, but I really enjoy when we do something and we help people and we teach people things.
Yes.
Yeah.
Real quick, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. I am blessed with the best RV customers in the business. You guys are such supporters of us, and I truly believe it's easy to get behind a division, a company that does it right, and to see your smiles and to get all the emails from how my team treats you is very special to me, because you are a part of this family, and we cannot do this without our customers. Thank you, everybody, from the bottom of our hearts. We are a humble group here. We are the underdog. We're fighting the big guys. We got into this only 10 years ago. They've been doing this for 30 years, and we're throwing a wrench in their matrix. And I like it. And it's because we got the most amazing customers. And on top of that, they're the best salespeople I've known as customers, because they're always selling for us.
Yeah, very true. I agree with that. All right, stay right there, Nick. Thanks so much, guys. We'll see you next week. Like I said, I think it's going to be Wednesday, but I'll definitely let everyone know. Stay right there, Nick. Thanks a lot, guys. We'll see you. Peace out.
Thank you.